Hello and welcome. I'm the Rambling Director, and I just watched The Little Mermaid 2023. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So, I feel like I need to preface this by saying I'm a big animation fan. I think you can see that through my ever-evolving memorabilia that kind of comes and goes in the backgrounds of my sets. But I'm a big fan of anime, animation, old, new. I'm an animator myself. I love animation. So I love The Little Mermaid, and it and Beauty and the Beast are my two favorite Disney movies. Period. So, I was a little more critical going into this film than I might have been otherwise, but I gave it a little caveat this time. Beauty and the Beast made me angry. I mean, that movie made me angry because it so thoroughly missed the point of the original Beauty and the Beast. The chemistry was wrong, the actors were wrong, the singing was so wrong. It was just terrible. From beginning to end, I did not like the Beauty and the Beast remake. Didn't like Aladdin, thought it was really lame. Half of the singers couldn't sing, half of the actors couldn't act, and above all, it was very slow. There was a few that I might have missed. I think there was a Cruella de Vil film, and I think there was a Lady and the Tramp film, which sounds to me like it would be mostly CGI, but the remake of Lion King didn't make me angry, it just made me depressed. I literally went home and took a nap. I was so sad after watching it. So, I don't pay for these movies, by the way. I have a family member who works at the theater near me, and he gets me in for free, otherwise I wouldn't be seeing the Disney remakes. But I went into this film with a little caveat, thinking, you know what? Disney's had a lot of flops recently. Maybe they might have learned a little bit and adapted. I don't talk about the other Disney remakes on this channel much because I don't talk a lot about movies I hate or I dislike. I normally talk about movies that I like. So, I'm talking about this film. Did I like it? That's the question. Well, it's a mixed bag, but I would say this is probably the best of the Disney remakes so far. And I think a large portion of that comes to the fact that they went more back in line with the original story. There's far less stupid changes like the mirror in Beauty and the Beast. There's not really any long drawn-out scenes like the dung rolling in Lion King. There's no phenomenal miscasting like Jafar in Aladdin. This movie is still like 45 minutes longer than its predecessor, and it does not need to be. So there is way more. That being said, there are some additions that I like. So let me compliment this movie and tell you what I like about it, and then I'll tell you what I dislike about it. So, first off, it gets right the most important thing. And that is why I would say, you know, based on how you feel about how much the other criticisms would bother you, I do recommend it. I wouldn't go to pay and see it in the theaters, but on Disney Plus, if you're already paying for Disney Plus, check it out at least once, is the fact that Halle Bailey, the actress who plays Little Mermaid, is really good. I know that some people would be like, oh, but what about the controversy? Aren't you going to No, because... Okay, I'm just going to throw out my little conspiracy theory here. There's a lot of good reason to think, and a lot of people do think, that Disney orchestrated all the #NotMyAriel bullcrap as a marketing tool. And, yeah, I think that's probably the truth. Because... I'm not even going to get into all the evidence for that. You can go check that out yourself. But the point is, I never bought into all of that anyway. The major issue that I see, really, with her performance is not even her performance. It's the CGI they do on her tail. I like CGI. I'm a CGI guy. The CGI in this film, in the subtle ways, looks great. Like the hair flowing in the water, fantastic. You really wouldn't know that was CGI. The tail is terrible at times. And there's parts where, like, Ariel is doing, like, this swimming backwards thing, and not a bit of her body, even the human part of her body, is not real. And you can see the lines where they have rotoscoped her face onto it. It is incredibly bad. So I can't really take that away from her performance. She performed great. Her singing is great. Her acting is great. She does the fish out of water stuff great without seeming like, oh, I'm a wide-eyed innocent. No, she interacts realistically, and aside from the dingle hopper bit with her hair, for the most part, she interacts much more like a normal person would. I expect that in a live-action movie. The guy playing Prince Eric, it's really good. He's a good singer. Too bad they give him one of the worst songs in any Disney movie ever. Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote the lyrics to the new songs in this movie, and I would never guess that because the lyrics are garbage. And this is, I mean, his song, it's like, I forget even what he's talking about, but it's like, about, wanting adventure in the Great White somewhere, but like, it's terribly written. I mean, it is one of the worst songs I've ever heard in a musical, and that is saying something. The song Scuttle sings, it's not good. I can tell Lin-Manuel Miranda had a big hand in writing it. That's it. I didn't like it. I thought it was pretty bad. Melissa McCarthy, I'm not a big Melissa McCarthy fan. I don't really like her comedy, and I'm not a fan of her as an actress, but if she played more villains, I'd probably watch her more because, like, she was a real villain. I kind of believed it, and I kind of liked her in this role. There were some comedy moments that felt out of place. Like, there's this point where she's looking for a potion and can't find it, and then she just screams, "No!" and the potion floats down in front of her, and she goes, "Oh, there it is." That really didn't work. But other moments, like when she accidentally destroys her little eel buddies and seems genuinely tore up about it, that's really good. I liked that. I'm going to make a really big statement here. If they had cut Ursula out of this film and just made the whole movie Ariel and Prince Eric getting to know each other, I would have loved this film because the best part of the film is them interacting. Their little 3 days of getting to know each other is fantastic, and they've added some stuff to it, but all of the stuff they added in this case actually works because their chemistry is so good, and Halle Bailey is so innocent and charming, and she really, man, she needs to be in like a silent movie because without talking for half the film, she gets across so much. I really love this chick. I've never seen her before, but I'll check out anything else she's in. She was fantastic in this, and she's got a beautiful singing voice. The relationship between Eric and Ariel is the heart of the film. They got that right, which means they got the most important thing right, which is better than you can say about the Beauty and the Beast remake, where Emma Watson acts like cardboard, and I mean, like, there's no chemistry at all. No, in this film, these two have chemistry. These two act like they actually genuinely care about each other. And I would like to see these two actors play in a romance film together at some other point because they were really friggin' brilliant. They were the best part of the film. Javier Bardem plays King Triton in this. Didn't know that going in. And then when I saw his face and heard his voice, I was like, no. And by the end, I was like, bro, what are you doing? Because he's going for an Oscar this entire time. Even when he turns Ariel back into a human at the end, I'm not... Spoilers, I assume you saw the original. He's holding the trident and the magic's coming out and it's like tears rolling down both eyes. And the man is going for best actor. And bro, Javier, please stop. You're way too good for this movie. And I didn't even hate it, but you're still too good for this movie. What is he doing there? How did he agree to this? I just don't even know. Okay. Let's get to some criticisms. There's some things that I liked in a general sense. Like, I liked Under the Sea. The singing ranges. It actually ranges. Some of it's never bad. It ranges from good to great. I was especially impressed with Melissa McCarthy. They might have dubbed her, I don't know, but I was especially impressed with her because she sang Poor Unfortunate Souls really well. I don't understand why Ariel would ever fall for this, because she seems pretty bright, up until she's just a dummy for the sake of the plot. They take out the contract thing and just turn it into a scale. Like, she takes a scale out of her fin. I thought that was a downgrade. I thought that the signing the deal with the devil sort of thing really worked in a dramatic sense, especially in a musical. And this is paced much more like a musical. Rob Marshall directed this, and you can tell. This is the first Disney live-action remake that felt like it was It was a musical that embraced and really liked being a musical. The Beauty and the Beast remake, when there were songs, it was almost like they were begrudgingly singing. Like, almost like every actor didn't want to be singing except Gaston. No one sings like Gaston. There is two massive problems. One is the ending. Just drags. I mean, it just drags. And the movie was wrapping up, and it got to the point where Ursula was about to turn into a gigantic sea witch. And I looked at my watch and I was like, man, okay, this ticked along. This wasn't like Beauty and the Beast or Lion King or Aladdin, where I was like checking my watch every 5 minutes. This moved along at a cracking pace. It was enjoyable. It was an enjoyable film up to that point. Everything, it was like, as soon as I had the thought, I jinxed it. Because from that point on, the movie is bad. And I mean, it's like all of the cliches that you've come to expect from the live-action remakes that everybody complains about, they shoved them in the last 10 minutes. Ursula, as a gigantic sea witch, the CGI is inexcusable. She looks like she's from a PlayStation game. I don't mean PlayStation like 3 or 4. I mean like PlayStation 1 game. It is terrible. It's like the sort of thing that 10 years from now, we'll be looking at this CGI, guarantee it, the way we look at The Rock in The Mummy 2. It is inexcusably bad. Sometimes she's in the shadows and it doesn't look too bad, but when she leans forward, it looks like the Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth game. It's terrible. It's unbelievably bad. Remember in the original how all the mer people and the humans were together for Ariel's wedding, and it felt like, oh yes, all of that stuff about the humans and the sea creatures having to be at war. We bridged that gap, and because of this marriage, like Romeo and Juliet would have if things had gone differently, this has married the two worlds together, and everybody's happy. The ending of this film, Javier Bardem shows up at the very end when Ariel and the prince are leaving, and he's like, I'm sorry, I hear you now, and I understand you, and we're all here. And the mer people show up, and it's just the cheesiest shit you've ever seen in your life. I mean, it is just cheesy. And, oh, man, it's bad. It's so bad. Even the final shot is bad. Like, it just kind of stops. It's not even a particularly epic image to end on. There is another problem. And I mean, this is the actual big problem that got under my nails. Eric should be the one who kills the witch. Now, I know some people might go, oh, so a woman can't save a man? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, thematically, it makes no sense for Ariel to be the one who kills the sea witch. And I'll tell you why. Because of the war between mer people and humans, and how they hate each other, and they're biased against each other. The humans are scared of them, and the sea creatures are scared of them, but they're scared in like a warlike way. They're ready to go to war with the humans if necessary. And then Ariel kills Ursula, and Prince Eric the human is kind of, a damsel in distress. Now you tell me if that makes any thematic sense. Of course it doesn't, because what made the original so well put together in that climax was that this was the reason for the mer people to trust the humans. Look at that. The human that Ariel was in love with, she called it right. He's on our side. He's the one who vanquished the sea witch. He, by all accounts, should be a legend now to the mer people. The human who killed the sea witch and saved the mer people. No, it's Ariel because we gotta shoehorn in a girl power message, even though it destroys the thematic message. And if you really wanted... Okay, so if you want... I'm sorry, I'm getting really heated about this, but if you wanted to do something better, you should have left the feminist message at the sidelines and given it an egalitarian message, where Ariel and Eric work together to kill Ursula. And if you'd done that, you know what would have happened? You would have had the same message. Mer people and humans working together, reunited, and it feels so good. But as it is, I was baffled. And when it was happening, I was like, they can't possibly be doing this. And they did. Again, the best part, the part where it really excels is what matters, which is the relationship between Eric and Ariel. And they got that perfect. I really liked it. I saw not one problem with Halle Bailey. I loved her. I will watch her in anything else that she cares to act in. I really liked her in this. What do I grade it? How can I grade it? Because a lot of people will come into this hating the remakes, and they're just seeing it to complain about it. If you do that, you're pretty dumb in my book, because you're giving them money, and which is the way in a capitalist system, that is how you ask for more. So if you're really dumb enough to be like, I hate these live-action remakes, take my money, then, okay, I'm not going to be able to change your mind. If you're smart enough to hate them and not want to see them, I would say at least take into account the points that I've made here. There are some great scenes. Kiss the Girl is a great scene. Overall, do I regret seeing it, considering I didn't pay money for it? No, I don't. Would I ever watch it again? I might watch it while I'm on the treadmill. Better than watching CNN or Fox News, I guess. But other than that, would I seek it out? Not really. But I would watch clips of it on YouTube, just to see Halle Bailey again, because she gave a really good performance as Ariel. So, take that for what it is. It had good moments, it had bad moments. But in my book, and for my money, which again I didn't spend on this film, it's the best of the live-action remakes, except for Cinderella. I don't really count Cinderella as one of these remakes, really, but if you want to count it, I think it's the best one since Cinderella. So, take that for what it's worth. Thank you all for watching. God bless you, and have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.